have the great honor today to welcome John Petrie, Counselor to the Global Chief Security Officer of NTT Corporation. John, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So tell us, from a security perspective, all this AI, generative AI, policy compliance, how should we be thinking about this?
So I think, first of all, if you're not thinking about it, you're way behind the power curve as it relates to business, and security is just one aspect, one function of the business. So if I focus in on security and AI, AI is going to become a critical component to protect data, to protect the information, to protect the models, to protect the large language models. And we're setting up now for agentic AI. And when you move from generative AI to agentic AI in security, what you're talking about is the agents that will go out there and protect that data, to look for vulnerabilities. So it's going to get really exciting. It's going to redefine how we do security business in the future. And then I might add, this is probably a stepping stone to a technology shift that's going to happen, getting ready for quantum sensing and then quantum computing. If you talk to some of the experts on the security side, they're looking at quantum coming into reality sometime between 3 and 5 years, and quantum computing coming into reality in about 7 or 8 years. I personally think that quantum is going to be here sooner than that. We better be prepared for it overall. And the last thing I'll say about it as it impacts business is that the bad guys, if you will, the nation states, some of the more mature bad actors are going to use AI to their advantage, just like we are in defense of our networks. They're going to use it to attack our networks. And so it's changing the dynamic. It's also having an impact on resources, people specifically, and how we use humans to defend our networks today. AI is going to enhance that and in some cases replace those humans. And that's going to be a challenge for a lot of companies. It's going to have an impact on how we deploy our resources moving forward.
Well, that was a lot, John. There's so much on the mind of the Chief Security Officer. And as one of the people in the world who's talking to leading chief security officers, any advice you have about what to do or what next steps should be if you're sitting in that chair?
Well, I have a lot of comments here, but we'll keep it short. Okay, so first of all, I think every chief information security officer, anybody in the security profession, needs to have conversations with the business and ask the business to be patient, because the security guys and gals are looking at protecting the networks, and of course the business wants to move fast and they want to get out front, and there's a lot of changes that are going on with AI, and you can talk about things like DeepSeek and some others. There's still concerns about malicious code and what it can do to the environment if it comes through a downloaded model that comes from like a Hugging Face and it gets inside your environment. You know, the business is not going to see that necessarily. The security teams have to be prepared for that. And so I think patience is something that we have to be a little bit more concerned about from a business perspective. Now, there's exciting things going on from a security perspective, using AI agents to go after the bad actors, for example. That's going to be really critical to protect against somebody taking over our existing models or what we're doing in our development cycles. And so there are things that are going to happen. They're just not necessarily mature yet, just like everything else in AI. And as we move from generative AI to agentic AI, that's going to change the ball game. And what I mean by that from a security perspective is that it's going to become much more challenging to keep the bad actors away from the data. Protecting the data is the key here, protecting the AI models that we're creating. You don't want your intellectual property to be stolen. And so those are kinds of things that we're going to look at from a compliance perspective, if you will, but also to protect our researchers, our developers from losing their code.
I know you're a thought leader on how to work with partners. You've helped our organization extensively and advised and counseled many other CISOs about how to do this. Help us understand if AI is going to impact that stack and how you see global CISOs working with their partner ecosystem.
Startups are going to be absolutely critical now because they're moving very quickly. They don't have the bureaucracies that large companies have. So large companies are going to have to take more interest in the startup early stage. I'm not talking about A and B round where a company's been around 2 or 3 years. We have to start taking a look at companies that are in the stealth round or the seed rounds where they've got these technologies, and we need to be co-developers, co-investors of the technology itself. And that means we have to be development partners. So we have to look at it a little bit differently. We have to take more risk to bring those startups in. And there's always going to be risk. You got to do your homework on the technologies, but I think it's important to engage. So what I tell my colleagues is that let's continue to openly share information about individual startups. Look at what they're doing, look at the technologies, do proofs of value and proofs of concept, and that takes resources on our end, so it does impact on the business availability. How do you prioritize technologies that are going to become important to move forward? And then you have to make a business decision. Do you absolutely just invest and leverage the technology, or do you buy the entire company? These are big decisions that are going to have to be made moving forward. I look at the startups as a key driver for maturity of the AI space moving forward, and I think that's going to become important, and I think we need to involve those startups more than what we are today.
John, thank you for all these incredible insights. I hear you saying that there's going to be a lot of changes, and what's critical is really advising and speaking with your business.
Correct.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hope to have you back.
Will do.